Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and was just getting ready to film some other stuff, couple of reactions here and there, and trying to maybe squeeze in like a let's play and everything. And then, of course, I get a little pop-up on my phone that a new trailer for The Last of Us has been released. So, of course, I gotta check that out. Of course, I can't really, I think I wouldn't, I literally would not be able to get that out of my mind until I actually at least got the video over and done with it and everything. So here I am, so The Last of Us. We did have a kind of trailer for this before, like it was a bit more of like a teaser trailer, but it was a great trailer nonetheless. That showed us Pedro as Joel and Bella as Ellie, and even a bit of Anna as Tess and everything. I think a few of the other kind of characters do show up as well. Gabriel Luna as Tommy as well, and Nick Offerman as Bill. And I think I don't think I actually noticed it actually watching the trailer for the first time in that video, but I think they actually did show us like a glimpse of like Henry and Sam, I believe it was. I think it wasn't the clearest of glimpses, but I think it was like a blink and you'll miss a moment. But then I think it was a clear like the fight that the very brief kind of altercation that Joel and Henry have on the actual beach and everything. I think that's what we showed. I think it looked very familiar when I actually went back and kind of freeze framed it every few seconds. So yeah, I think and I think they did release they did also release some character posters a few days ago too. They actually released a few character posters for the leads and for the side characters too, and I think Henry and Sam were among them, and Sarah and everything, and Riley too. So yeah, I think January is officially. I can't remember what date exactly, but I think January is actually when the season is actually set to start. Is set to premiere and everything on HBO Max. So literally next month, literally like kicking off the new year with an emotional and heart wrenching and ever so slightly happy and enjoyable zombie apocalypse TV show. So yeah, it's going to be a good year. Hopefully it's going to be a good year. Starting off with The Last of Us. Starting off with a world like a post-apocalyptic TV show isn't what you would think would make 2023 great, but then that's, the story that comes with it. You gotta love it. So yeah, I think I really don't know. I really need to start actually. So I still really want to stream part one, the actual kind of the remake of part one on the channel, and I feel like I need to get that done soon, hopefully before the show starts. So still definitely working on making that an actual thing, hopefully very soon. So yeah, so that will happen when it happens, hopefully soon. But yeah, now we have like our first official full-length trailer, I believe this is. I think I don't know if we're going to get anything off this, but I think if we didn't get anything else after this, then I would not complain at all. I think after this, now we're officially a month out from the actual show, so I could definitely wait until then to see the actual final product when it starts airing, and I can't fucking wait to start reacting to that on the channel. That's going to be so cool. So yeah, first official trailer for The Last of Us on HBO Max. Let's go.
If you don't think there's hope for the world,
oh God. Oh.
You haven't seen the world, so you don't know.
Oh, the clickers, yeah, they look and sound so good. Oh, Joel and Sarah.
No. Your cargo.
Watch how that changes. Watch how quickly that fucking
Why
changes.
are you so important? Somewhere out west, they're working on a cure. I think what really impressed them was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
Oh, the bite.
She so
Ooh.
much as twitches.
Oh, she's gonna kill it. Bella's gonna kill it as Ellie, I swear. She's gonna be so good. Oh God, the set, the actual fucking set design for the show is just so on point.
You got any advice on the best way west?
God, and going on location as well. Oh.
Go east. You've come this far, and you know what's out there.
You're not gonna scare us. Scared him?
This January. Ugh.
You have a greater purpose than any of us could.
Oh yeah, Marlene. That's Marlene. I think it's the same actress who played her in the game as well.
Be careful who you put your faith in.
Oh, they're playing Take On Me!
It's your summons.
Oh God. Ah.
Trust me.
Bill and Frank. David. That's David. That is so David. That is so David. I'm not ready. I am not ready for this show. Fucking Clickers coming out of the ground January 15th. Oh God. January 15th. Clickers coming out of the back. I am not ready for this. How do you expect me to prepare for this? By playing the game? That's not going to prepare me. Nothing could prepare you for this. This is just, you sign up to HBO Max. You're signing up for you're signing your own death warrant. That's what you're signing. God, that looked This is gonna be it. This is gonna be the show that kills me. Whether or not I turn into an infected, I don't know. But this is gonna be the show that finally ends me. This show is gonna put me out of my misery. God, there were so many good shots and good scenes in that. I want to say like the actual set design for this too, like them recreating so much from the actual game in terms of set design and like going on location and using like landscape and using actual surrounding area and just kind of scenic kind of environments too. It's just I'm gonna have my eyeballs just like sellotaped open the entire time watching this just to make sure I don't miss a single freaking pixel from each of the fucking frames. It's gonna look that good. It's gonna look that good, but especially fans of the games will know that the visuals were were one of the things that made the game so well done. Like actually, it was by no means open world, but then the world you were in, just fucking almost galactic, and you were still on Earth. It was freaking galactic, and you're still on planet Earth and everything as you should be. Just wow, it was just so out of this world and so grounded at the same time. Just wow, the visuals just. Jesus, and I mean, I don't know if this is the kind of thing that they would use the volume for. Like, I mean, I wouldn't mind if they did, because it was still kind of like it would still make sense at points, and maybe if like going on location isn't the most practical thing to do the entire time, and maybe if they still have like COVID concerns, then I would totally understand them using the volume. But then if they actually do have the ability and then they actually use their ability to go on location as much as they could, then fucking props to them. They know exactly what they're doing. They know how to actually do this thing right and everything. But like, yeah, again visuals. I'm gonna be just, wait till I stream the game, then it's gonna be 2 different rounds. One round of me just ogling the game, and 1 round of me ogling the actual show when that starts airing. That's just gonna be it. So yeah, the visuals just just everything. So yeah, so there's a few things I do want to talk about. My mind is racing with thoughts as usual, so I don't know like how staggered this review is going to be, but bear with me. First of all, I do want to praise the music, their choice of music. I think I didn't catch it straight away, but then I think once the chorus for Take On Me hit, it was just like, okay, it's the music. They're covering it. They are covering the music as they should. They're covering it on point and everything. They used Take On Me as it was so well used over in the second game and everything by Ellie herself. So that was a really cool touch. And then of course actually using the main kind of game's theme when trailers can actually remix like those kinds of songs and use them, like actually sync them to the beats, or even actually kind of remix them with like different tunes or different rhythms or different kind of beat mixes of some kind to fit with to actually fit with trailers. I think it's done so well in quite a few different trailers. I think this one definitely feels like one of them. So actually hearing like Take On Me in like a more kind of somber, more kind of distant kind of tone used for this is really, really fun. So there's that. I think there's just so much to talk about this. The bite here, I don't know if it's just me or if the bite here looks like slightly different than it does in the game, because I think here it looks pretty kind of like it still looks like a bite. Like to me it definitely kind of still looks like a bite, but I feel like it's it looks like it settled into her more than it did in the actual game, because I think in the first game, I think it definitely kind of looked different to your regular bike, because I think she probably kind of had it cleaned up as best she could and probably had it tended to and kept it covered too to keep it hidden, because that was her biggest secret. But even in the game, I think it definitely still looked actually like it actually settled into her skin and just kind of didn't look as fresh anymore. But this one, it looks like it's actually settled in a lot more, and it looks like an old scar more than a bite. So I think she mentioned it was like 3 weeks old. I think like I think no more than a few weeks, I think she said. But then the common kind of fact was that like usually it's like within hours that you actually turn and stuff. So I think assuming that Left Behind takes place in the same kind of chronology and in the same kind of pace in this serious as it does in the game, then probably like a 3-week-old bite or something. So, you know, her being immune maybe in this like they've just kind of like designed it a little bit differently. I mean, it's not like a different look wouldn't be the end of the world as long as they still maintain the bite and its importance and what it means to her and everything. So, yeah. I do love that. I think Bella has already nailed Ellie's sass. Like that sass right there of her just put like faking turning into an infected and everything, like her sass. I feel like Bella's gonna nail that, and then, you know, because I think she's got to nail that like to Ellie's kind of individuality, but then also like her relationship with Joel, I think is gonna be the best thing to watch. Like to see what her chemistry is like with Pedro as Joel and everything. But that moment right there has already sold me. That one moment right there has already sold me on Bella as Ellie. So yeah, very much looking forward to that. Something the first game never actually did give us directly was Frank, who was actually Bill's kind of partner, and who was also his, you know, partner. But gave it to us in like some kind of kind of past kind of moments, and in that letter in that note that Frank left behind, in the note that Frank left behind that you find, that was all we got of Frank. So I think I wonder then if like similar to Left Behind, maybe the Frank that we get in this might be all flashbacks then, and then anything present day that we get from Bill will be Bill post Frank's disappearance or death and disappearance and death and everything. There was that. I think we did see a glimpse of Bill with someone. Him right there. So I think I do ever so slightly recognize the actor. I'm not entirely sure where from, but I think I do feel like I've actually seen him somewhere before. Oh, there's actually this one. There's this one too. I think this is Ellie, but then she's holding a baby. This is curious. I think Ellie with a baby doesn't necessarily come into the picture until the second game, you know, because Dina's the one who's pregnant. So this is curious. I don't know how if this is like a story change or maybe something else that like I'm pretty sure that is Ellie. I think can't imagine who else it might be, but pretty sure it is Ellie. But yeah, I don't know. I think to my knowledge, Ellie with a baby, and especially like Ellie with a newborn baby, doesn't really come into the picture until part 2. So this is a very, very curious kind of thing to see. I mean, we had a few more Left Behind shots too with Ellie, whereas with Ellie and Riley in like a photo booth. So I think there's obviously at that point in Left Behind where they are in the photo booth together and everything, which was really cool. And then I think this is them. This may well be like the actual mall that Riley kind of takes Ellie to after they both sneak out and everything. So yeah, so that will be cool to get into. I think Left Behind and Frank and Bill's history too. I think two things that I'm really curious to see how they're actually going to cover next to the main kind of story and everything. So yeah, that's David. I'm pretty sure that is David right there. So yeah, I think he looks somewhat similar to what he did in the game. I think don't know who they'd cast for him. Don't recognize him at all. But that definitely is David. That is like an exact scene from the game of him slamming the knife on the table, and then him and his dudes actually. Is that Troy Baker? Wait, is Troy Baker in this? I think that looks like Troy Baker. If they got Troy Baker in this and he's playing one of David's henchmen, then wow. First of all, just wow. At a glance, that looks like Troy Baker. So I wonder then if they can actually do that too, because then if they're bringing the original voice actor for Marlene into this, and she's playing Marlene again. So if they can actually bring the OG cast into this too, then that would be insane. I think Marlene's one, that makes sense, but then Troy Baker playing one of David's people, that is an interesting casting choice. That is an interesting choice. I wonder if they can actually bring Ashley Johnson into this. That would be cool. I think don't know who she'd be, but you know, I mean, because then that is such a wide spectrum too. So like Marlene comes back to play Marlene, but then Troy Baker comes back to play one of the bad guys. And then of course we have Henry and Sam. Henry and Sam are in this. That's not going to be an easy time. That is not going to be an easy time at all. That's just not going to be an easy time. Now that we know that like Troy Baker is actually returning in that way and that he's going to be playing that character, I actually do want to go back and check something to see if my theory actually does check out, because I feel like that would be the perfect opportunity to add her. I feel like Ashley Johnson is coming in this as well, and I feel like we did just see her. Because I think I figured that like it looks so much like Bella. She looks like quite a bit like Bella. Like I guess that is also like an actual kind of props to the actual casting as well. Like Bella and Ashley actually do look like each other at like various ages. So yeah, that is Ashley Johnson. So would that how would this work out then? Would that be Baby Ellie? Is that Baby Ellie? Tell me that is Baby Ellie. Is that Baby Ellie? So then Ashley Johnson playing her mother. I can't remember who her mother was. I think what her name was. Because I think Marlene did know Ellie's mother personally. I think she knew her personally, and I think she made Ellie's mother a promise that she would protect her and that she would take care of her. This would be so. She is yet another character from the story that we never actually got the chance to meet or anything. I think Ellie also never got the chance to actually meet her mother or anything either. So I mean, granted it might go the exact same way in this, but at least we as the audience finally get to hear. Okay, that is so much. That is actually so much more of like an actual hard-hitting kind of casting to have. Like, I mean, either way, all three of them have some kind of a role to come back to and then some kind of role to step into. So, yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Ashley Johnson is Ellie's mother. Oh, God, that right there, that is good casting. That is actual good casting. Actually, had I don't even know if that would really be like handing the torch down either. But I mean, it could be. It definitely could be, and that would be like a very, very sentimental and very, very kind of close-hearted kind of way to actually pass the baton down to, like her literally birthing her daughter into this into this franchise, into this fandom, into this world and everything. So Ashley Johnson playing her mother, that is just that is some top tier casting right there. So hopefully we actually get like a good enough amount of time with her before. Yeah. Okay. So Ashley Johnson is in this. So great. That I'm actually much happier knowing that piece of news now. So. At first, I mean, these are infected, right? These, I think, focus forward. These are infected. I can't tell at first glance because of how I can't tell if this thing is actually big or if it's just up close. But at first glance, like, is this one of the bigger monsters then? Because I think we do know that there's obviously like different stages of infected too and stuff, like different stages of infected you can be. But then some of them mutate to fucking godlike levels of lethality and size and everything. And I think one of them's called, I think there's like the bloaters too, the ones that actually kind of explode in like a big puff of gas that infects you if you get too close and everything. So could this be a bloater? I can't tell if it's just like a really up close shot or if it actually is genuinely big and it actually is a bloater. It looks like it because of the actual bodily size. I think it definitely could be a bloater. But if that is the case, then I feel like this scene as a whole here is just going to be just good kind of anarchy and just chaos all around. But ideally all the infected will be practical and stuff, and then I think maybe if necessary here and there just maybe some CGI, but to make all of that practical will just be insane. So especially with like the head being split open and flaking off into bits and everything, just wow. But if that is a bloater too, then wow. I mean there were definitely bloaters in the first game. There were definitely bloaters in the first game, so it wouldn't be like a new thing. But yeah, I think bloaters, yeah, that would be seeing all the different types of infected covered in this too. So seeing all the infectors of the clickers and the regulars, and it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a literal blast. Seeing how all the actual infected kind of come together and how they work and how they kind of operate and everything. And also more interesting because then now we'll see how they operate in the way that like the actual show is written in like an actual predetermined way, and not through really lethal and sometimes if maybe a little bit janky kind of AI and everything. Like seeing how monsters operate in this without AI and just operating off like a script and everything is gonna be pretty interesting to see. And I think with this one too, I think with the kind of like more main kind of difference with this one being that as playing the video game, you definitely do still experience the story from like an established main character whose character only grows as time goes on. But with this one, it's like you don't have to do anything. Like I think you definitely kind of do. The game isn't necessarily like a choices matter type game. Like you don't get to choose what you do, you just do it. So but then I think with this one, it's like I feel like there might be like a bit of like a narrative shift and like a tone shift, knowing that you're actively watching something that's already kind of written play out. But then you don't have to actually kind of like put yourself in those shoes. You literally just kind of watch like a pretty standard story take place. I think seeing the kind of narrative told from the game kind of switch over to something like this. I think that's going to make it like an even more interesting experience too, because then, you know, there's plenty of people who disagree with stuff from the first and the second games, both story-wise and character-wise, but then actually kind of seeing how much that opinion might kind of amplify or shift or change after the kind of series comes out too, because then, you know, that's not written from the perspective of, the show is not going to be written from the perspective of audiences who are meant to actually kind of control the characters, but then you're just kind of watching what's already kind of taking place in that way, you know, and just kind of just seeing it as it is, seeing it as it was always meant to take place, but then maybe with some added kind of twists and turns here and there. So I don't know if I really explained that too well, but hopefully hoping the message kind of comes across. I think for that reason I'm kind of all the more curious as to how the show might work out and how much differently the story might work out too. So yeah, for now that is all I can really kind of think of. You know, I feel like I've been talking about this for a good long while. I'm sure there's other stuff I missed out on, other stuff I might not really catch on to or probably process until after I've actually gotten out of like a reactive and reaction kind of mindset and everything. But everything about this looks amazing. It feels amazing. It feels like something worth waiting for and everything, and I think as much as you'd actually love for this to come as soon as possible, I think it definitely feels like something that's actually worth the wait and worth that kind of time of like actually preparing for this and everything. Because I feel like it's genuinely, without even like a hint of exaggeration, it feels like it's going to be that kind of a show that's going to be so perfect for people who already are connected to the fandom and the franchise originally, but then also people coming into the story for the first time. It's going to be so perfect for both demographics of audience, and it's going to be a story worth investing in, a show worth getting into, and it's going to be something for the ages. So I am without a doubt so excited for this, and again, I will be getting to my stream and my playthrough of The Last of Us Part 1 on the channel very soon. It has to be this month, because I think otherwise I won't have time to really get into it at the beginning of January, so it'll definitely be this month, and hopefully maybe something to actually close out the year with too. Hopefully something to actually clear out the year too. And yeah, look, it's also just hit me. It's December. It's also just hit me. It's December of 2022, and we're not gonna get into time and how fucked up time and like perception and sense of time is right now, because there's a whole other discussion. But wow, it's December 2022. So if you can, let that sit in your brain for a minute. So yeah, but either way, 2023 is looking good. We got this coming up. We got a whole bunch of other stuff coming out next year, so it's looking very good. So please do take the time to let me know in the comments exactly what you think of this and how you feel about this and everything, and how much you're looking forward to this, and anything you've picked up on that I missed out on, and anything you've picked up on by yourself in this trailer, and any kind of theories you have, anything you hope to see in the future, and how much you're looking forward to that stream and everything. But yeah, that is going to be great. So yeah, I will without a doubt be reacting to each and every episode of this show when it starts premiering and when it comes out and everything. So be on the lookout for those reactions and everything, and come join me as well. Come join me after you've actually seen episodes of the show too, and see the reactions, and we can all share the pain and the joys and the laughs and tears together. So yeah, but for now, that is pretty much it from me. So that was the official trailer for HBO's The Last of Us. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of the trailer and what you think is going to be coming up in the show and how much you're looking forward to it and all that good stuff. And yeah, for now, that is it. So until the next time, bye-bye for now.